Hey, all, and welcome to this week's episode of the Mike Muldoon Podcast. Thanks for joining me. It's January, and I hope everybody's doing well, and hope you get off to a good start. And if you haven't, just understand that it's a year. You know, if you've got some goals and plans, maybe you've already sort of dwindled back on your fitness program or whatever you decide to start, but it's okay because you can keep going. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. For some people, I know it's tough. I got a lot of friends in Los Angeles right now. So if you've been looking at the news, it's crazy. I've got a lot of friends. I used to live in Santa Monica. I used to live very close to the Palisades, everything that's going on there right now. And I've just been reaching out to my friends and everybody out there, checking on everybody. So far, a lot of my friends, they're okay. The ones I've been able to get in touch with, some I think had to evacuate. Some have told me some crazy stories about, friends of theirs that's lost everything. So there's a lot going on over there for those people. So I'm not really a religious person, but if you could send some prayers, send some thoughts that way. If you got people over there, make sure you're checking in on them because that's going to be a long recovery for a lot of people. And that's just really tough, especially coming into this year right now. But anyway, I want to talk about something today. I want to talk about courage. And courage is, it's a good one. We all need it, whatever you're going on. The funny thing is about courage, right, is it's often portrayed as a fearless leap into the unknown, right? It's a superhero trait that separates the brave from the timid, right? You always see this in movies. He's so courageous. He just jumps in there. But the truth is, in reality, courage and fear are deeply intertwined. Without fear, courage has no purpose. See, true courage isn't about being unafraid. It's about moving forward despite the fear. The fear is present, but you move forward. And the thing is, I know this well. See, time and time again in my life, I've stood at the crossroads of fear, questioning whether I had the strength to take that next step. Yet I've always recognized that while daunting, is a necessary companion. And when we face it, we grow stronger and take back control of our lives. Now, each time I've chosen to move forward, I've always thought of that Robert Frost's famous line in the Road Not Taken: "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by." And that has made all the difference. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Profound connection between fear and courage. And understanding this relationship, again, can really help you face the challenges with greater confidence, anything you might be going through in your life. Again, so if you listen to my podcast, you've heard me talk about growing up, had panic attacks, had anxiety disorder. I hid it pretty well from a lot of friends, but my family kind of knew about it, especially my mom, my dad. Again, they thought I'd probably never leave the house. I didn't like being left alone. I didn't like going places. It kind of went away. And as I got older, when I was 30 years old, I had a crazy panic attack coming back from Miami on an airplane, and it crippled me again, just crippled me. And every once in a while, and what I mean by that is like I had a hard time having anybody drive me. I had a hard time not being in control of anything. I had a hard time just sitting in a restaurant somewhere. And one of the other things, and where this concept really came to me about having the courage when fear is present, that's when the courage comes and you have to push through it. It was, I used to go up to San Francisco a lot. And I used to hate driving over the Bay Bridge. And it just used to give me so much anxiety for that 5-hour drive up, just terrified, fearful of just going over that bridge. And anybody who has anxiety or panic attacks, a lot of this might sound familiar, but I remember when this concept came to me and I said, no, I just, I turned it into a positive. It's like, no, this is my superpower now, right? Because I have the fear. So now I'm going to have the courage, and this is what's going to make me brave. So I kind of reframed it, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it was other things, and now it's been 20-something years. So, and I've gotten better, but there's still things sometimes that I it's not easy. I just keep pushing through. But again, the more times you push through things, the more times, more resilience, but the more you take your power back. The easier things have become. But so again, if you're being fearful, then again, use it as an opportunity to be courageous, except I want to back this up real quick. So like you talked about earlier, right now, there's a lot of fear going on. So one of my friends on the West Coast, or anybody's listening to this right now, you have fear, don't be courageous, get out, evacuate, be where you got to be. I think a lot of courage is going to come out of this when people have to find the ability to kind of move forward with their lives. Like I said, so many people have lost so much stuff, and and that's where the courage will come in, and I'm sure it will, because people aren't inherently, I like to say strong. I think when people really get pushed people, they fight back and they find that strength and they find that courage. So like I said, if you're in California right now, don't be courageous. If you're fearful, get away from everything and, get yourself safe. Okay. But in regards to everything else we're talking about here, fear just often gets a bad reputation. It's often seen as this villain, that thing that holds us back. But again, fear is also a guide. It signals what matters most to us. Fear of failure often, reveals our deepest dreams. Fear of rejection underscores how much we value connection. So instead of avoiding fear, we have to learn to listen to it. And what I mean by that, like when fear arises, asking yourself, what am I truly afraid of? Why does this fear matter? What would I lose by not facing this fear? Understanding your fear transforms it from an obstacle into a source of clarity. The thing is, courage is a choice. It's not a feeling. So, one of the greatest myths about, again, courage is that it feels good. The truth, courage often feels uncomfortable, even terrifying. That's because courage doesn't eliminate fear. It coexists with it. Courage is a decision to move forward, even when that fear is whispering or just even shouting at you, or your body is just in such a mode, it's in your ear, because courage is the action that you take. Okay. So you don't need to wait until you feel ready to be courageous. The readiness comes after you've just taken the first step. Courage builds momentum. So how do you cultivate courage in your daily life if you're struggling with it? I mean, start small, like everything, whether you're starting a fitness plan or anything. Don't just, say tomorrow run 5 miles and I'll change my diet. I'll do everything. Start small, walk 100 yards. But same thing with courage, whatever it might be, just start small. Courage doesn't mean you have to take this massive, dramatic leap. It could be something as simple as speaking up in a meeting or setting up a boundary with somebody you care about, or trying something unfamiliar. I mean, these small acts of bravery, they add up over time, and reframe the failure if you have one, right? As I often discussed on my podcast, fear of failure is one of the biggest things that hold us back from doing things. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every stumble or misstep is an opportunity to learn and grow from it. And the thing is, as you start taking steps in your life, maybe just even these little things, celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Acknowledging those moments of courage, it builds your confidence and really reinforces your ability to face fear head on. And the other thing too, and I talk about this, and I'm actually getting set to publish a book soon about this, but support, man. Make sure who you're around, and surround yourself with people who do support you. Courage is easier when you find you have, other people in your corner, other people who may be going through the same things as you, and you're kind of going through it together, right? Like share your fears with those. And then, with people who are going to lift you up and let their encouragement remind you of the strength that you already have. And you might realize by you doing that to them, and maybe they need help, you might find the strength in it, because now you see yourself in a position of helping somebody else out. But again, fear and courage, they work together. Again, fear is not your enemy. It's just a signpost pointing towards your growth. Courage is just that companion that helps you walk that path. And together, they just form this powerful dynamic that fuels your personal development. All right. So when you reframe that fear as an invitation and courage as the response, you unlock a life filled with purpose and potential. So the next time you're out there, you feel, fear rising, take a breath. Thank it for showing where you're growing, what's going on here. Then take one of those courageous steps forward. After all, as I often say in this, this podcast, when I talk about people, there's always a little bit of room to improve, right? And again, if you start small and you take some steps, you just might realize when you look back how far you've actually come. And that's what we've got today for you. As always, I'd like to keep it short, to the point. Maybe just pop me on in the morning on your way to your daily commute. And hopefully you don't have a far commute. Or I don't like to take up most of your day, keep you around here for an hour or so. And hopefully you're getting something from it. I like seeing the uptick in listeners, and that's always great. As always, if you can just leave an Apple review or a Spotify review or just something, I always love to hear from you. But that's it. That's all I got for you today. I wish you the best. Be safe. Again, my friends on the West Coast, please be safe. I got nothing but love for you there. A lot of love for you there, and prayers for you and all those other families that are going through everything out there. And as well with everybody else here, please just be safe going into the weekend. I got nothing but love for you as well.